please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Hi there, good afternoon. This is Your Stocks. I'm Mangla Malu. With me is Sumaira Abdi. Looking good for the markets right now as we speak. We're virtually at the high point of the day for both the Nifty as well as the Sensex, which has piled on about 160 points, and most of that coming by in the last 1 hour. So we'll keep an eye out on that. As of now, we will talk about individual stocks.
Now invite our two experts, Shaina Mukaddam and Sandeep Wagle, join in to answer all the queries that are being sent in by our viewers. So good afternoon to both of you. Our first query comes in from Wasim, who called us from Chennai. Hi Wasim, how can we help you?
I'm Wasim here. I'm holding Syntex Plastic Industries about 500 shares at the rate of 90 for the last 6 months.
Okay.
I just wanted to know whether can I still hold or to exit.
Okay. And sir, you're a short-term investor, or are you looking at an investment for the long term?
I can hold for another 3 to 6 months time horizon.
Okay, Sandeep, let me come to you first on that. For somebody who's been holding on for the last 6 months, has another 2-3 months tops that he wants to remain invested in this, what would the charts tell you about the stock?
Afternoon, Sumaira. I would recommend selling on a bounce in the range of 60, 62. I'm not very positive on the charts. On the downside, if 48 were to be broken, the stock can go down to even 40 levels. So I think 60, 62 is the right level to sell.
All right, Shahina, Syntex Plastics is the demerged entity. The erstwhile Syntex Industries got demerged into the Syntex Industries, the textile business and the plastics division. Would you reckon that this one is better placed than the other one?
It is better placed than the other one, but at the same time, I think better. I totally agree with what Sandeep's view, and I would also recommend a sell of the stock. Basically, while they have got a good brand and good potential, it doesn't seem to be reflecting in the numbers. And if you see on pure numbers, they're hardly doing any revenues, negligible profits, at least this is what they've reported after the demerger. And so on valuation basis, it's absolutely unreasonably expensive. So I will be following Sandeep's advice and selling.
All right, so that's the view for you. Sell Syntex Plastics, and that's the view coming in unequivocally from both Shahina and Sandeep. But let's move on. We have Jaiprakash, who calls us from Tamil Nadu with a query. Jaiprakash, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Jaiprakash.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I bought a Yes Bank last October, September around 357, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after results, EPS and everything is good, NPA and everything is come down, but the price has not moved, even though it is about 200 days moving average. Why? Whether I could wait for some more time?
How much more time do you want to wait for, Jaiprakash?
No problem. 1 year.
Okay, you can wait for 1 year. So it's pretty close actually to your buy price, just about 10 rupees below that. So for 1 year, Sandeep, he says that it's about the 200-day moving average. The stock has not moved despite good numbers. But remember, it had run up ahead of the numbers in the previous years as well. What is your view on Yes Bank from a 1 year perspective?
Well, Mangalam, I am positive on this stock, and I would talk of a target of 450, talk of the next 12 to 15 months. So in that sense, I am bullish. I would recommend to him to hold with a stop loss of 20 for a target of 450 with a 15-month view.
Shaina, you remain positive as well?
Yes, absolutely. I think with a book value of close to 110 rupees, the stock is very attractively priced at current levels. The investor should have some, I think, give it some more time, and he will make good money, because if you see the numbers, they have reported very strong numbers. 29% they had a growth in their net profits, and I believe even on the NPA front, I think the balance sheet and the assets are relatively stable. So I would believe that he should continue holding, and he would get a better level going forward.
All right, up next, Nisha Matre writes to us from Pune. She holds 120 shares of JSPL, which she has bought at about 82.20. She has bought it about 15 months ago. She's a long-term investor making quite a bit of money and wants to know what she should do at this level. Shaina, let me come to you first on this because numbers are due from JSPL today. After some 13 quarters of losses, it looks like this is going to be a turnaround quarter for somebody who's, held the faith for so long. Would you advise that perhaps she should even buy some more at this level? And I only ask this because the stock is already up 10% for the week.
Well, I think, I personally hold the stock, and so I believe one can continue holding the stock. And I do think that in the space of metals, it is one of the better, especially in steel, it's one of the better stocks to be holding. At the same time, I would wait for the results to enter. I would prefer buying it at dips, but I would give it a hold. I think numbers should be decent. The problem that I have, the only problem I have that is the high debt. So the company is working towards reducing debt, but that still remains a concern. So I wouldn't really go out and aggressively buy it at these levels. Maybe look for dips to buy.
All right, so that's the view coming in on JSPL, one of the better steel stocks. The only worry is the debt. However, she recommends that one holds this stock. We have Bhavani J now writing to us from Bengaluru, holds about 30 shares of Eicher Motors at 20,000 rupees for the last 2 years. Long-term investor wants to know whether to hold or sell. Well, 30 shares for 20,000 rupees, making a fair amount of profit already, and results expected today. So, Sandeep, as far as Eicher Motors is concerned, it moved to the lows of about 26,000 after the stellar rally we had earlier seen. Now it's recovered and looks like the rally has resumed on that one.
Mangalam, I think you are right. 26,000 levels were good levels to buy into on a correction, and I think it is on the way. I would talk of a target of 37,000 over the next 12 to 15 months, and 26,000 where it has made a bottom, that should be the stop loss. I don't see it go below that, and if it goes below that, then there is something negative in the stock. So if the stock starts being below 26,000, then one should exit. So stop loss of 26, target of 37, 12 to 15 months time horizon.
Next, we have a query coming through from Nagesh Burugu, who calls in from Hyderabad. Hi, sir. How can we help you?
Yeah, I'm holding Sun Pharma since 3 months. I'm purchased it for long run.
Okay.
Should I stay on to it or you switch to some other pharma share?
Okay, Sandeep, what's your take on Sun Pharma? You think for somebody who's bought it a while ago? Just allow me to interrupt that. There's some news flow coming through. The SoftBank CEO has now confirmed that Walmart has indeed formally agreed to buy Flipkart. Remember, this would be the biggest FDI deal, but I have the retail analyst right here with me, Mangalam.
Absolutely.
The deal is done?
Yeah, the deal is done. Looks like, we've been tracking and alerting our viewers about the fact that this deal has been done. The biggest FDI deal, bigger than Reliance BP, bigger than SR Rosneft, confirms 3 things. One, data is the new oil. Yeah. Second, the story in the Indian retail space stays. And the third, it gives a lot of hope to all the new startups and the ones with vision, as well as the ones who are looking for an exit. So that is something we're watching out for. Finally, this deal has been done. Coming in from SoftBank CEO's mouth, Walmart has formally agreed to buy Flipkart. And remember, we were looking at, they were looking to buy about 75% stake of Flipkart. So that is something we will hear from once the contours of the deal are out. But as of now, it's an exit for SoftBank as well. A long-awaited exit for SoftBank. The Walmart deal has gone through, and that's exactly what we're gathering right now. Vision Fund investment in Flipkart has doubled in value over the last 6 months. Those 2 lines that we're getting, Walmart has formally agreed to buy Flipkart.
Okay, so I guess the finer details will come out a little later in the evening. I think the time that we have is between 4:30 is when we should have the official word on this, on the finer details of this. So Walmart is looking to buy up to 75% in Flipkart for about $15 billion, which values the company itself at about 20-odd billion. Walmart is expected to hold a majority stake in the combined entity, but they are in talks with other potential potential investors as well to raise funds. So we remember have been on top of this story for a while now, and we'll bring you the very, very latest as and when more developments come through. For now, the confirmation coming in from the SoftBank CEO.
Just for perspective, Sumaira, $20 billion worth money, or the valuation of Flipkart at $20 billion makes it worth 1,34,000 crore rupees. That is the biggest, or the biggest retail company in India if you take a look at it, because the next one is D-Mart or Avenue Supermarts. The market cap is very close to 96,000 crore rupees, very close to that 1 lakh crore mark. And the entire Future Group, if you take a look at all the listed Future Group entities, the combined market cap of the entire Future Group is close to around 55-60,000 crores. So 1,34,000 crores for Flipkart is whopping in terms of value, and yes, the biggest FDI deal.
Yeah, that's true, actually. And, also what is important to note over here is exactly how this partnership is going to work out, whether it's a clear-cut acquisition, whether it's going to be more of a partnership. Kritika Saxena is also joining in. She's, of course, been tracking the story from the get-go. Kritika, it's almost done.
So it's done. We just need the announcement from Flipkart's side. But yes, SoftBank CEO has confirmed. So, I mean, we said it about an hour ago when the deal had been signed. The term sheet has been signed. So before I talk about what SoftBank is talking about, which is the value doubling, let me just give you an idea about how the deal will work. As we said, and as Shireen had reported, that's exactly what has been signed today according to our sources. Walmart is essentially going to be presented as a significant shareholder and the largest shareholder. So they will be taking a significant majority stake. So far from what we have been reporting and what Shireen has been reporting, they will be taking about 75% stake for roughly about $15 billion. What happens is that Flipkart's current management structure and current employee base, the key executives that are there are going to be continuing. However, Sachin Bansal, who's one of the co-founders, is going to be exiting the company along with his stake. Binny Bansal stays put, exactly as what Shireen had been reporting. In terms of the investors now, aside from SoftBank, the other investors that are exiting are Naspers, but there are a couple of smaller investors that will be exiting as well as a part of the deal. But a couple of the current investors, which includes Tencent, Accel and Tiger, will retain portion of their stake. So net Walmart will be infusing $2 billion fresh equity, and they will be taking in investors' stake as well. Now, just to talk about SoftBank, SoftBank had invested in 2017. So it's very rare that you see deals like this happen. E-commerce valuations have been dwindling, but SoftBank had invested about $2.5 billion in early 2017, and they're now exiting at about $4.5 billion is roughly what we are expecting, and that's exactly what the CEO has said, that the amount is almost double. So that is the value that they had inked. The value that SoftBank is going to be getting is going to be significant. So, and that's the largest amount that they are going to be making from India itself, $4.5 billion in just about a few months.
Saying that Walmart has also promised Flipkart that they will go for an IPO in the very near future. So that'll be very interesting how the street likes it, because it'll be the first big e-commerce play for the secondary markets as well. And for Walmart as well, it's been present in India for what, a decade. They've had just 20 B2B wholesale stores. So we'll keep an eye out on what it means for Walmart. And any regulatory hurdles for this?
Regulatory hurdles, there could be some amount of conversation as far as the Competition Commission, etc. is concerned, or in terms of the overall...
The FDI in retail, because I remember we had the DEA secretary say that, this deal will go through the FDI in retail.
Exactly. So what Shireen has been reporting and what our Delhi team has been reporting is that the FDI hurdles have been cleared out, and those conversations have already gone through. But as far as the IPO is concerned, there is going to be a roadmap that will be worked out. They are going to be ensuring that Walmart's global presence is global brands are going to make inroads into India through this deal. There will be a couple of critical areas, and once that is done, once they are able to scale up the joint entity, we could perhaps see the IPO about 3 to 4 years from now is roughly what we are expecting as well.
All right, Kritika, thanks very much for filling us in. So another few hours to go and we should have the formal announcement. For now, the confirmation from the SoftBank chief, and that's about as good as it gets. EID Barry, take a look at that. Let's pull up the intraday chart as well. Net profit of 11 crores, which compares with nearly 250 crores a year ago. Tax expense is to blame, so that is going to be one of the big culprits over there. There's a cost of raw materials which has gone up a little bit. And other than that, not much more than I can tell you, perhaps.
Not much more actually. I think the stock may recover from the lows as well, given the profit before tax is just 94 crores as compared to 102 crores. So the biggest miss on the net profit has come by primarily on account of the tax expense. So we'll keep an eye out on EID Perry, get in some more details as well. As of now, the street does not like the fact that the net profit has been lower year on year by a significant amount. So we'll watch out for that. As of now,
Even the revenue growth is so tepid. It's almost flat actually on a Y-on-Y basis. So I suppose that too is not going to go down.
we were in conversation with Nagesh Burugu from Hyderabad with a query with regards to Sun Pharma while the news on Flipkart as well as Walmart deal broke. So we'll continue with that itself. Nagesh Burugu has bought Sun Pharma at 500 rupees for the long term. Shahina, what would you say for the long term? Sun Pharma at 500, it's corrected a goodish bit from the top. Would you think it's a good bet at these levels, or maybe switch out and move to another pharma stock if you must?
Well, at current levels, I believe it makes no sense to continue holding because it's already corrected, and I think it's stabilizing at current levels because you see, I think they will continue doing what they've done. If you take the last quarter run rate on a consolidated basis, the sales were about 6,500 crores. I don't think they'll do much better than that, given the problems they're having with their with the US FDA for their sites, manufacturing sites. And on a profit level also, I don't think they should do more than 450, 500 crores, which is actually a big decline from on a YOY basis on a PAT level. So I think the numbers are not going to be exciting. At the same time, it is one of the fourth largest companies in generics in the US market. The dollar depreciating should be a positive. I think the US FDA issues also should be resolved over the next couple of months. So it makes sense to continue holding.
All right, up next then we have a query coming through on Magma FinCorp. Venkat Dhanam is on the line with us from Hyderabad. Hi, Mr. Dhanam, how can we help you?
Yeah, ma'am. I'm Venkat Dhanam from Hyderabad. And I purchased Magma FinCorp at 113 rupees. And my term of investment is like borrowed funds actually I have taken.
Okay.
Oh.
And I can hold, still one more year I can hold. Is there any prospects, or you want me to shift from Magma Fin to any other Manappuram Finance or whatever you suggest, I will do it, sir. Thank you.
Okay, makes sense. Sandeep, let me come to you on this. It's a bit of a precarious query actually, because he's trading, or rather investing, on borrowed funds. Though the good point is that he bought in close to its 52-week low, so he bought in at 113. What would the advice be? He's making a fair bit of money. Should he, just sort of get out of the stocks? Should he move the money elsewhere? What would you advise?
Well, Sumira, he is making money, he is in the money, so I would recommend that he should hold on with a stop loss of 140, which is also in the money. And I think talk of the next 12 to 15 months, I would look at a move anywhere near 230. So I think he should look at booking profits around 220, 230, where he should make a decent amount of money.
All right, so hold on, and you should be making decent amount of money. In the meanwhile, we got some flash coming in. Sources to agencies did say that the Andhra government is mulling pulling back the land agreement or land offer that it had made to Reliance Naval, the erstwhile Reliance Defence Company, and which is why we saw a bit of a decline. So Andhra Pradesh government may drop the 1,000-acre land offer made to Reliance Naval. That stock fell from the high point of the day. Remember, the auditors had also earlier raised concerns about the company's ability to go ahead as a going concern, and their debt. That one's been ballooning for a while. Over the last 3 years, their finance cost has actually been higher than the revenue. So we'll have to keep an eye out on what takes place there. But remember, these are sources to agencies, and we do not have any direct knowledge of this move.
In fact, I wonder if that was a precursor actually to this move.
Perhaps. I mean, I'm just going through some newspaper reports. This land was supposed to be used to make a shipbuilding facility for an investment of close to around 5,000 crore rupees. So let's see whether any of their business plans go under some sort of pressure because of this as well or not. So we'll keep an eye out on that. But as of now, the stock, which has already corrected a goodish bit, is seeing further selling. We'll keep an eye out on individual stocks. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Your Stock. Stay tuned to CNBC TV 18